What's up everybody, Maxwell Ventura here with the Discher Group, and today I want to quickly do my best to summarize a book that I read recently called Mastery by Robert Greene. And to do this in about 5 minutes will not do it justice. Robert Greene, in my opinion, is one of the most philosophical, detail-oriented writers of our present day, and all of his works I'd recommend checking out, from 48 Laws of Power, this book Mastery, and then his newest book Human Nature, The Laws of Human Nature, and he has a few others as well. So Mastery, what he deems is essentially a transformation from one level of intelligence to the other and everything that happens in between. So when you are a master, you have what he refers to as the ultimate power, because most of us in our lives, with whatever it is that we're doing, he says we will be replaceable, meaning someone else will be able to come along younger and hungrier to do what we're doing, and they'll even do it cheaper too. So by attaining mastery, the ultimate power, we've reached a point where we are irreplaceable, where whatever it is that we're doing, we're one of a kind, we're special, we're unique. And so in this book, he details 6 steps in order to get to this phase of mastery. The first step is called Discover Your Calling, and he speaks about our seed of uniqueness, which again is unique to us. It's kind of like our fingerprint. Discovering your vocation, which is that inner voice, and it generally refers to what we enjoyed doing when we were children. Discovering what that is and kind of going back to that. Because if you don't like what you're doing, we've all heard this, you will fail. So going back, looking inward to discover that is step 1. Step 2 is to submit to reality, or the Ideal Apprenticeship. All of us, in order to obtain mastery, will have to go through some sort of apprenticeship on the road to get there. It's the master-pupil relationship. And so we have to value learning over money when we start this process. Step 3, absorb the master's power, the mentor dynamic. Greene says that although we can obtain mastery through books and through study alone, by acquiring a mentor, this will cut that time essentially in half. And there's the 10,000 hour rule that is a common theme throughout this book, which states that you need to acquire at least 10,000 hours of study time on your sport, your field, your business, whatever it is, in order to obtain mastery, which he says generally takes about 10 years. By acquiring a master, and obviously putting in the time and obsessiveness during that time frame, will cut it in half, essentially from 10 years to 5. So we need to use humility and submission to, again, value learning over money. Take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward. Step number 4 is the importance of social intelligence. And essentially there's 2 components. There's specific and general. And that's just understanding how people think, and then also just the natural human tendencies and behaviors that we all have, including what he refers to as the 7 deadly realities. And a common theme in not only this book, but some of Greene's other books, he goes deeper into the dark nature that we all have, that although we might not show it, it's still there on the subconscious. And so being able to read that, having social intelligence is essentially key, because we are social creatures. In order to get where we want to be in life, we obviously need to have a skill set, but knowing people helps too, networking. And so the next step, step 5, is awakening the dimensional mind, the active, creative phase. So there's different types of minds that he goes into, but we have the original mind, which is what we're born with. We're essentially a clean slate or a blank canvas, where we typically are more imaginative than later in life, when we develop the conventional mind, where we've developed rational thinking and skills pertaining to the modern world, but we may have limiting beliefs about ourselves, what we can do, which have been imposed upon us by perhaps our family or even just the environment. So the dynamic mind is when we integrate and combine the 2. And so the final step is to fuse the intuitive with the rational. So we take our dynamic mind that we've cultivated, but we need to fuse it with our intuition. All masters have developed some sort of intuition pertaining to their field or their sport. where what happens kind of just happens on a subconscious level. Because we've studied for so long, we've integrated the sport or these concepts into our being, we need to use our intuition. And funny thing is, many times this happens when we least expect it. It could be under a moment of great tension, or even perhaps in a dream. And throughout this book, Greene exemplifies and uses examples of many masters of the classical past, such as Da Vinci, Mozart, and a bunch of others, and Darwin, and then fuses that with the contemporary masters of the present, such as Freddie Roach and a few others as well, master boxing trainer. So this was an incredible book. If you have read any of Greene's other works, I'd be interested to know. If you have read this book, I'd be interested to know and have a conversation about it. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, this is Maxwell Ventura with the Discher Group. Follow me on all social media, including my YouTube as well, and I will talk with you guys soon. Stay safe, stay clean, and keep going. Thanks, guys.